Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? So, I just wanted to go ahead and I just wanted to bring awareness to this. So, if you guys have the WeGamers app, all right, so you guys are probably all aware, all right, that if you didn't already, you can go over to the Discover tab. All right, now there are a couple of things that I kind of want to explain to you guys about WeGamers in brief detail, in case you guys have never actually known. You guys have probably heard about the spreadsheet that I was telling you about a year ago. All right, well, it turns out now you can actually go to the Game Tools tab, and they now have a speed up calculator, our research and construction, troop training, EXP. They've even got guides and even a place for guild recruitment. So, interestingly enough, let's say I wanted to know how much troops were. All right, you can actually, based on the number of speeds, or even based on the number of troops to gems, on what you want. So, for example, let's say I had 30 days, or let's even do 3, right? And let's say the reduced cost was 75% at say a 231% training speed. And let's say I'm doing tier 4 and it's infantry. I hit calculate, takes a little bit, and voila. I know how many troops I can make and how much resources that'll be. Pretty good useful, am I right? So, okay, of course, the gems to speed ups is a little different. So in this case, I'd be asking for how many troops. Let's say, okay, I want to make 2 million tier 2 ranged. And interestingly enough, right, you'll see this only goes up to 100. Now, I'm not entirely sure why this is. I'm going to assume that, you know what? Well, let's just assume that it was a training speed of, I don't know, let's say if it was like at 25%, right? And we can leave the reduced cost at 75 because that's usually the base after you've got the research. So, needless to say, let's just say off of this alone, if we calculate, it'll sit here and time waste and basically tell us how many gems that'll be, how many speed ups, and basically how much of the resources. You'll notice, obviously, it isn't perfect, though. You'll see that, obviously the names are not switched properly, and there are some questionable problems with the results here. But obviously, as you can tell, it's how accurate any of this is. I don't know. To be fair, I think it would be. I still feel like the spreadsheet has some more room for the gens to speed up ratio, but the speed ups calculator seems to be pretty solid. Having that said, though, obviously, if you wanted to do research and construction, it's pretty straightforward. It's how many of these to these to these. It's pretty straightforward, and obviously, whatever boost you're using, whether construction or research, and then how many helps, which, obviously, if you're in a guild, you can get as much as 30. Yeah, so it's pretty useful, right? Of course, those are the game tool tabs. Now, I did want to kind of briefly go over this. So, as you guys all probably know, all right, you can get the aid. I recommend either the notification bar or the floating icon. Now, the reason why, right, is because what this use comes in for is, let's say you're in a guild and you want to attach your WeGamers account to it. Well, the benefit of attaching your WeGamers account over to your Lord's mobile account is it allows you to basically go in here and you can actually read your guild chat from WeGamers. Now, interestingly enough, you can also go over and you can call a siren, which will warn your guildmates in case something else happens, which is a lot more reliable than a rally timer. Which, in case you're wondering why, it's because I've ran into situations where people will spam a rally timer on your guild for like an entire day straight. So, the siren's a lot more useful for those kinds of things, but obviously, you can even declare like a conference call. And I mean, there are so many other little things that you can use, which really, frankly, it comes in handy. Now, of course, there's obviously that. Now, if you guys didn't already know, you can obviously, if you're looking for points, you want to click on this little tab here called Group Profile, and then what you want to do is you want to check in. Benefit of checking in is you'll get points every day, and it kind of adds up. It'll keep track of how many times you do this per day, which is always a good thing. So I recommend that if you're looking for points, that's a good way to start. Now, why is this important? Well, points are kind of let's just say you go over to me, right? And you go to your My Points tab. Now, in my case, I've got about 11,000. I've been on this platform for quite some time. But if you want to redeem these points, you can actually redeem them and then get yourself bundles. And this is the most legitimate way to get free stuff in the game for Lloyd's Mobile without actually going through any third party, because this is actually owned by IGG. So you can actually redeem your code after you've put in your points, and you can actually get some stuff, and it's really nice. And I'm frankly, there are certain holidays that you can actually get. Of course, the bundles will be a little bit more expensive, but generally you can get better stuff out of the actual loot. And obviously, it's not just Lords Mobile. I mean, there's Casual Clash. There's so many different bundles that are out there. But of course, if you're looking for like a little bit of a way to get ahead, this is the most legitimate way to do it. Of course, if you invite your friends, you can get points. And I mean, look at that, 15,000. It's a considerable amount. And of course, if you guys are interested in coming to the platform, then I recommend using my invite code, because it would be absolutely awesome. In case you're wondering, it will be in the description below. But without further ado, right, I also want to kind of go over a couple of other things. So, for those of you that are new to the WeGamers platform, they do actually have a variety of different roles that you can do. So if you're an artist, you can actually apply to be an artist, and if you like to draw and do things of that nature, you can actually get in with the WeGamers team and actually get yourself a title to kind of essentially make drawings, which is pretty cool. I've seen a lot of interesting stuff coming through the WeNet, and I mean, there's just so many different things you can do. I mean, frankly, I think it's a really great opportunity for people out there that want to get exposure to the artwork that they make. Of course, there's also the option to become a celeb. All right. Now, of course, the celeb status is usually going to apply to those that are streaming on the WeGamers platform. And of course, I did at one time stream on the platform pretty regularly, from 6 to 9, but I'm officially no longer doing that, because I don't have the time in my day anymore to do that. And I really wish I could stream on here even pretty regularly, but it's just not possible for me. Having that said, though, of course, there are plenty of other streamers out there that probably you may have not heard about, but that they do stream Lords Mobile on a bunch of different games on here quite regularly. But I'm just giving you some exposure to that, because it's out there, and of course, if you're out looking for it, it's really useful. Of course, you can change the theme. So, like, if you wanted to be, Lords Mobile, for example, you can apply it, and that like essentially changes the background, as you can tell, makes it look a little nicer. Frankly, it's kind of nice. But of course, you can also go to WeLive, and this is kind of like where the broadcasting is done. And of course, you can access this through Lords Mobile. If you've ever gone to the settings tab, you've probably noticed that they integrated this some time ago. But again, there are like, I don't know, there's all kinds of people that stream on here from time to time. You can actually apply to be a streamer and get paid like money to actually stream. It's an actual thing. Like, you can get 100,000 gems or so a month. It's actually a really good deal for those of you out there that just want to get your foot in the door. But it is a little bit demanding. I mean, if you're not willing to at least keep to a schedule every day, it's not going to be easy. But having that said, all right. Of course, there are groups. As you can tell, I'm in quite a few of them. And I've met a lot of people along the way. And every time you're in a group, you can actually, again, just like you would if you were in your own clan, you can actually go over and say, like, I don't know, well, I'll just pick one at random. Let's say it was Crunk Crew. I can actually go up here and get more points. Conveniently, if you watch streamers, you can actually get points by watching them over time. So there's that. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for those of you out there that are just really looking forward to kind of spending time streaming. And of course, they do interviews and stuff like that from time to time. So if you ever go over to the stories tab, you'll actually read about some different titles and stories that they do. Now, interestingly enough, right, they also do happen to have a title for writers, which I happen to be, and I still do. So what you can actually do as a writer, in case you're wondering, is you basically can write stories. And so I, as you can tell, I usually just make my video guides, and occasionally I try to kind of briefly explain what I've been doing. And of course, the benefit of this is that, if you're out there and you kind of want to learn general, like you want to add to the world's contribution, obviously, they do have WeGamers posts and stuff like that, which, you can actually post on here just like you would if you were using like Twitter or something like that. It's really similar because you can use hashtags and stuff like that. And as you can tell, there's just a lot of different things that you can do. Having that said, though, right, this is just kind of my brief introduction into the WeGamers platform. In case you've never heard of it, I really do recommend that you take it a look, and hopefully you'll kind of maybe learn a thing or two. And I don't know, with any luck, you'll take interest in this as much as I did. And of course, there's lots of opportunities for those of you out there that just really are interested in getting to know the community a little bit more. And, well, needless to say, I'll see you guys next time.